Good evening, good evening, good evening. Not really sure how to start this Saturday. It's Sharing Saturday, our evening edition. If you caught me earlier, I was out and about picking up some things for our annual Childhood Cancer 5K event. We are literally 119 days away from event start, and we have loads and loads and loads of stuff to get done. So Monday will definitely be a busy day, or Monday will start an official busy week because April will be here on Thursday. We need to send out emails as well as start making phone calls to update our contact information, and then simply just ask you different questions about, who you are, how you partner with us, and ways that you can partner with us moving forward. Yes, we are a Childhood Cancer Foundation, and yes, we do we accept donations 365, but donations is not the key source of our being. The key source of our being is to raise awareness, and we cannot do that without the help of everyone who supports us, everyone who comes out to our events, everyone who shares. Of course, we haven't had live events since 2019, but we are still hopeful that things will get back to the way they were, or not the way they were, but even better, so that we can start back doing community events and things of that nature. But definitely, we would want to be able to go out. When I do radio talk shows, or when I go and I do speaking engagements, the first question, one of the main questions I think everybody always asks is, what's the most important part of the organization? And for us, from day one, from the beginning, it's always been awareness. If you are not aware of our organization, how will you be aware of childhood cancer if you don't know about kids that kids get cancer? If you are not aware of who we are, then you won't know why we do what we do. And so with that, I'm in our founder's room. I meant to grab a picture of him, but I'm gonna grab one. This is actually the place where I'm supposed to do lives at, but I typically never get the time to come inside. But the picture is correct. So I'm in our founder's room, and I think it was just a good place for me to do this particular live, because I want to have a conversation. But March the 29th, so we're in this month. March means so much, has so much meaning and definition in our lives where it comes to Caleb and his battle, his journey with cancer. We started off on the 12th where he had a bronchitis attack, and it just didn't get better as it would normally do. And at age 5, we rushed him to the hospital on the 16th for the very first time of his life to be hospitalized, only to know that down the road we would have to be in and out of the hospitals, and then he would finally pass away. And so the 26th, which was yesterday, was one of those memory events for us where he had a limousine pull up to the house, and he took the family out to dinner and then for an amazing weekend. And so March just means so much to us as a family, so much to me as mom. Just to remember March and all the things. And then on the 29th, which is 2 days away, on the 29th is when we actually sat down with the nurse practitioner, went over everything, and they said, hey, here's what's going on. They officially diagnosed him with T-cell lymphoblastic lymphoma. I'm taking a little time tonight to just share a little bit about our beginnings because it's going to help me to segue into the conversation that I want to have tonight. And so we had that talk, we had that conversation on the 29th, and as we received the news, my body just seemed to go numb. Just numb. I was just numb. I had no words to say. I couldn't scream. I couldn't cry. I couldn't do anything. It was just like everything in me, all my powers had just left. And so my next step and my next question in my mind was, where do we go from here? And so, of course, we sat down and we had, I can remember sitting in an Indian style in a hospital bed. And I can remember having a conversation with the nurse practitioner, just simply saying, where are we at, where are we going? And then they have they call them roadmaps. So if you are an adult or a child, most doctors, oncologists, whatever it is, they have a roadmap or a road plan, whatever they call it, whatever your diagnosis is, they have it's called a roadmap. So it literally tells you what you're going to be doing for the next so and so. So we didn't have a roadmap for 6 months or a year or whatever. We had a roadmap for right now, because the tumor that formed on Caleb's left lung was so severe. They thought his lung was done, but it just had collapsed. And so he was running around and breathing and living life on 98% on one lung, and the other one had collapsed 98%. And so just imagine at 5 years old with all that energy and no one ever knowing that his lung had collapsed. They listened to his chest and he would breathe in and out and it sounded clear, and one of his lungs had collapsed. And so imagine getting the news of that, and then he had fluid, not just on his lungs, he had fluid on his heart. So they had to have immediate surgery to drain the fluids off of his heart while he was awake at 5. He had to have a tube inserted inside of his chest wall to drain the fluids off of his heart. And so life happened fast. We had some good days, we had some really good days, and then we didn't have horrible days, but when we had those days where Caleb didn't feel good, we persevered. We prayed, we talked, we laughed. We tried to get him to a place where if he didn't want to be bothered, then we didn't bother him. But we tried to always make sure that we loved him. So here at the organization, when my sister spoke that she sees foundation on the 13th there was a Thursday on the 13th of June, me as mom's thinking, no, that's not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. And so that was just my thoughts. We're not doing that. I'm not doing it. And then immediately, 3 days later after he passed, my spirit said, we have to do this. This is what we have to do. And when I look back over the 8 years of my life and I see the people whose lives we've touched and the lives of other people who have touched us by the things that they do or the things that we do. And not just, people don't realize that we are 100% a nonprofit childhood cancer organization, but our ministry goes so far deeper than that. We strive to help build healthy relationships. We love It's Sharing Saturday. We love to support other businesses. And if you saw my live today, I was back in Orange City. We love to share others' businesses. Those who support us, we love to give support back. There's so many amazing people and businesses who have partnered with us year after year, whether it's donating monthly, whether it's donating once a year, every single thing that they do. I have a big, huge box that I have to go through from Classic Couture Fashions down in Orange City, because she continues to be a blessing, continues to be a support system for us to be able to continue to be a blessing to those families that we partner with. And so we've been having conversations lately at home here, and I want to say maybe since February. I know the beginning of the year was kind of but I can pinpoint exactly February. If you know anything about me, I'm a communicator. Don't I don't text. I don't get into the social media world for personal life. I only do things to help, to give back, to support, to impact, and to do things for other people. So we've been having a conversation here at home about just loving, you know, how much evil it is in the world with so much going on and killings and just all kinds of stuff that goes on. We've just been having these deep conversations, and I say all the time, I don't ever want to wake up any day and not love the people that are in my life or not love people in general. I was in the truck the other day at the store, and this guy, he almost like tripped over his feet, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I was just reading the back of your back of the truck and changing the lives of others one smile at a time." I was like, "Yep, that's who we are. That's what we do." And I said, "And look at you, you're smiling." And he said, "Yep, you see these feet? I'm on the ground. They're up." He said, "I'm up and they're on the ground, so I'm thankful." I said, "Exactly." Because somebody didn't wake up that morning, and somebody woke up and was angry and grouchy or whatever. And so tonight, when I say, can we have a discussion? Here's our founder, my baby. Who would have ever thought that God would allow me to be a mother to someone so precious, so pure, so honest, to watch him go through something that I feel like is the worst thing in the world for any child to have to go through, but to watch him persevere, to watch him make other people smile and laugh, to watch him still do praise and worship and want to go to school because he went to a Christian school, to watch him keep his grades up, and to be on Skype was a thing back then when he was living, to be on Skype taking his spelling test and staying ahead in class and being on the principal's list at school and all those wonderful things. Who would have thought all of that would be just taken away? And so fast forward in today's time where there's evil and killing and gangs and Black Lives Matter movements and This Life Matter movement. Here's the gist for me as an African American woman. All lives matter. My son's life matters not because he's a Black child, but because he's my son. We have to learn to love at all costs, no matter who it is, no matter what's going on. When I say I felt like in 2020, there was just a different kind of evil in the world. It was just like people randomly I don't know, there just was overtaken by evil. And when I look at my son, when I come in his room, when I think about the journey that we were on, my flesh, the human part of me, should be angry, people would think, should be upset, should want to ask questions why I had to go through this, why my child didn't live, why wasn't there a cure. That side of me would want to ask all those questions. But the woman that I am says this, that I went through all of this for a reason. And no, I wouldn't wish it on anybody else to have to make an example, but my son left a legacy that I will not tarnish. He loved every person that he met. He was good to people that he met. And so if God has allowed me to not jump off a building, run myself into a pole, or whatever it is that it takes to just take the pain away, and he's allowed me to be sane and continue to want to give back and to continue to want to love and continue to want to support people, we all need to do that. There are so many people. I have 5 close, immediate friends and family. 5. One female and 4 males that suffer with depression. A lot of times we suffer with depression, and I should be depressed. I mean, I don't, in my life, my faith is just that great that whatever it is that happens, I have to go back to my beliefs. I have to go back to what I know. And it's so funny because where is it? I can't even find it. Caleb and all his teddy bears. Oh, they're too far over. But Caleb slept with not one Bible, not 2. He has 4 Bibles on, and they're still there. He had 4 different Bibles. And so you have to remove the toxic people out of your life. I tell people all the time, I don't care if it's your family members. I don't care if it's the people at your church. I don't care if it's the people at your job, your boss, whoever. Let's have the conversation of, if you're not speaking and being positive in my life, then I'm going to have to, the Bible talks about pruning, cutting, snipping away the dead things. If you have a green thumb and you plant flowers, or you're a gardener, you have to cut and get rid of the things that are dead. So in this life with so much mental health, one of my good friends is going through a lot. And I think the hardest part for me is I can't fix it, or I can't, be there to fix it. I guess that's what it is. But they know that I'm here. If you need me, I'm here. I wish that none of us would have to go through the pains and the things that we go through that are horrible. Sicknesses, deaths, COVID. If you have family members who passed away of COVID, just whatever it is. But in those things, we have to learn that it's okay to grieve in your own way. It's okay to get angry and be mad, but just don't stay there. Push yourself to the next level. And if you find yourself not being able to, guess what? Find some positive people in your life. Not people who gonna gossip about, oh, she crazy, or oh, he out of his mind, or he talking about. Find healthy people. And I was talking to one of my seniors. I'm a blessing. I have like 4. I'm blessed to be able to have 4 seniors that allow me to love them. I grocery shop for them. I pop up at their house, drop them off dinner on the weekends, and I just go grocery shopping for them, load up the cart and go grocery shopping, and then just drop it off and just be gone. Like nothing they ask for. But I know they're up in age, and some of the things that they need on a week-to-week basis, they can't get to the store like that, so I go and get it. And so one of them, I said to them, and one of them suffers with depression because her husband passed away years ago, but she perseveres through it. She says, on those lonely days, I just have to start talking to God. But one of them, I said, you have to learn how to allow people to love you. And I think so often we're so used to people taking from us, being takers and not givers. Or we're so used to people, if like my devotion, I have a little book of nuggets for couples. And it goes through talking about, it's derived from out of the 5 love languages, which is one of my favorite books to read. I can read it every single year. That's how much I love it. But it said yesterday, I believe, have you ever did something for someone and you meant good, but it didn't come out that way? How did it make you feel? Like, did the person feel like, oh, she just doing this because she wants something in return, or he just doing this because they want something in return? We have to learn to not allow the person in your life who is trying to love you, who is trying to support you, who's trying to be there for you, pay for the sin of the person before them. Like if it's a relationship or a friend, don't hold me back from loving you and supporting you as a friend because the last friend scarred you, stabbed you, scraped their nails down your back and ripped the skin off of your flesh, and whatever it is. In relationships as well, we hold people hostage for a past relationship instead of taking the trash. We talk here at home, we talk about when we go to the trash, it comes once a week. When we take it out, it doesn't come back. So a lot of times in our lives, we're taking the trash somewhere, but we're not taking it to the street or however it gets picked up. We're taking it somewhere and then we're bringing it back. We've got to learn to let go of the past hurts, to let go of the past pains. And I tell my children all the time, and I tell some of my friends, if nothing else, do a pros and cons of your life. Do a pros and cons of where you work, the main places that you interact, where you work, at home, church. If you're a part of an organization, do a pros and cons, and then do a mirror effect. Stand in the mirror. Look at yourself. Who am I? Why am I here? What is my purpose? What have I done in the last, 3 months? It's March. What have I done in the last 3 months to impact or make a difference? What random act of kindness have I done? Do I feel beautiful? I am beautiful. If you don't have a mirror effect with yourself, sometimes you're never going to get that way. If you look in the mirror and you start having negative thoughts, you need to get you some Post-its and start sticking them all around the mirror and say, I am beautiful. I am a Black African-American woman who is loving, who is caring, who produces the fruits of the Spirit, who's gentle, who's kind. We have to get to that point in our lives where we have to encourage ourselves, even when we don't feel like it. Most people say, you're always smiling, you're always giving, you're always. That's just the outer core and the shell that you see. But nobody sees when I have to fall in someone's arms and cry. Or no one sees when I'm in the shower and I'm just cleansing myself of whatever it is, just in the shower, just saying I made it through another day, in the shower, being thankful to be in my right mind as I know it. We've got to be accountable for, and even in our lives when we've all been young, we're all older, we all made stupid decisions and bad decisions and crazy mistakes, and sometimes we still do it now. But we have to look in the mirror, address the fact that I'm the problem or I'm the issue or I did whatever, and then release it. Write Post-its around saying, I want to be better. I am healed. I am whole. I am loved. I am loving. Whatever you have to do to get to that point in your life where life is positive. I tell my daughter all the time, it's not about who's in my life. It's about the person that I am. One of our business partners says, it's called control. I said, you're exactly right. But it's a healthy control for Amperell, because I will not allow anyone in my life that's toxic. I don't want to hear your gossip. I don't want to gossip about anybody else. I don't want any negativity in my life at all. And I choose to be happy. I choose to be positive. I choose to love and give back to anybody who's ever been in my life. They can tell you one thing. I might be strict, I might be stern, but I've always been loving and giving. And that I will be till the day I take my last breath. And so I will not allow toxic in my life. I was telling one of my prayer partners today, I was like, when things are challenging or things go on, I always say, Lord, thank you for Amperell. And people be like, why do you say that? I'll be like, thank you for Amperell, because if you didn't create me to be this woman I am, I would not be able to handle a lot of the stuff that comes. I hear and see a lot of stuff on a week, I'm going to say week to week basis. Sometimes the people who are here to help me, they share things about their lives, and I have to quickly I have to redirect that energy. Like, no, you need to stop. Let's change the subject and let's see how we can fix where you are, where you are. You can't worry about what other people are doing. You just can't. What you can worry about, what you can control is yourself. I, Amparel, can't control a husband, children, grandchildren, mom, dad. I can control grandma because we have custody of her, but I can't control what other people do, how other people feel, and what other people think. But what I can do is I can impart love. I can impart giving. I can impart the when you think about me, you're gonna say, you know what? She changed the conversation. I was on the phone with I think it was our alarm company or something. I don't know who it was, or the bank, whatever. And you either get somebody who doesn't know what's going on these customer service lines, or you get somebody from a third world country who that just works, that just like crawls my skin. So I definitely don't like to be talking to someone who can't even understand what I'm trying to say to them. And so we got to talking, and the lady was just talking, and I think it was Thursday, because it's Triumphant Thursday, and I told the lady, I said, the lady before you the other day, she had no idea what was going on. They had them took all this money out of our account. She trying to tell me it was taken out because of one thing. I'm telling her, lady, we done had this security alarm system forever. So that can't be the reason why, just whatever. And so we got to talking, and we got to be in a dialogue. And at the end, she was like, I'm so thankful to just have this conversation with you. She said, because you're so calm. She said, most people will be screaming and yelling. And I've been to fast food restaurants where I've seen some customers throw sodas and food back at people. And like, I'm like, okay, time for me to go. Let's go, honey. We just like, let's go. We leave, and I'm not like, I've been to a restaurant just picking up, and the man come in, like, we didn't know if he had a gun, but he had his hand in his pants like he had a gun. And I'm like, I don't want to be in these toxic situations where people are so angry. It's like, if you shoot up something, what is it going to help? It's going to hurt more people than it's going to help. It's not going to help anybody. It's going to hurt more people because you're taking away innocent lives because you're angry. Sit somewhere sometimes and simply meditate. Find a quiet space or place. For me, working out is my place where I can just get everything out. All my emotions, all my feelings, I can get them out in a workout. I can jog about 5 miles and just keep going and keep going and keep going, because as I'm walking or jogging or power walking or whatever it is, my mind is just going. It's just going, like all the things that are going on. So again, the discussion is, how do we better ourselves first? I can't help you if I need help myself. If I need healing myself. Let's be real. Mental health it's serious. But don't complain about issues and problems that you are having if you're not willing to have somebody to help you. I have an amazing friend, and I won't say where they live, or I just won't say anything, but she's an amazing woman, and her daughter suffers with mental illness. And I talk to her and I encourage her all the time, because I always tell God, I don't ever want to lose another child. Is that my what do you call it? Do I have that choice? Is that my choice? I don't get that choice. But I know for me, losing my son was the worst thing in this world, in this world, that could ever happen in my life. And so instead of arguing with the lady or cussing her out or doing all this stuff that people do to the Bank of America for putting a hold on some money, or ADT for taking out all this extra money, because I just guess they said, well, they got it in their account. We might as well just grab some extra. Or at a fast food restaurant when they mess up your food or whatever it is. I choose to find the positive in everything. I started a year ago on March the 30th when COVID started. I used to manage concessions at the soccer stadium. And so when COVID started, the soccer stadium was shut down. And so I wanted to find another part time gig to just bring in money for the household. One of my friends and I from church was at Target, and someone she knows she saw, and she was shopping, and she was like, I had no idea what they were talking about, but in the midst of the conversation, the girl was like, I make more money doing this than when I was driving Uber, or she said she had Uber app and whatever the other app is. And so I said, well, what is the company? And she said Shipped. So Ship is a delivery service where they deliver groceries and they deliver other stuff. They deliver pharmacy, they deliver Party City. They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. They're trying to deliver everything. They just started delivering alcohol, and we have to take certifications to get, before we get qualified to be able to deliver drugs and alcohol and all of that stuff. But long story short, we have just like with anything, you have a group, you have a chat that people chat in every single day. And I don't get on it much, but the times that I have gotten on it in almost 1 year, there is so many toxic comments and relationships. Just say like this t-shirt I have on, they'll be like, how dare she came to work. I saw her. They won't say the person's name because most of the time they don't know. All they know is we work together, or they have to know that the person works, I guess, for the company. But they all, she had on some shorts and her behind was hanging out, or she had on this. It's like a whole place for negativity. And so my spirit said to me to wait till the 30th and then just post this long post and say, this is my 1 year anniversary. And even in 1 year, I might have had some bad customers. I have had many customers. If we do pharmacy deliveries where we're just picking up the pharmacy from the pharmacist from CVS and dropping it off to the customer's house, I have had people that don't tip at all. I have had people who I shop for all the time, like my regular customers, and they may only tip $1 or $2, whatever. In the midst of it, I'm still thankful because guess what? For those who don't tip, I have wonderful customers that cover their tips. I have customers that tip me $50. I have customers that tip me $25. I have customers like when I pick up their order, they be like, thank you, Jesus, my favorite shopper. And so we have to get away from always expecting things. I do it because I do it for a service. I met a nurse a couple weeks ago, and I met her because I accidentally left some cereal at her house instead of another customer's house. And what an impact. I said, we thought we were just leaving the box of cereal at the wrong place, but it was a divine connection. She not only partnered with the organization, she tipped me greatly. She's a nurse. Just amazing things have happened. I deal with seniors today. I dropped off pharmacy to one of my seniors who lives in a trailer park in a Popka, and we just conversate, and she's so sweet. And I think in life we have to learn how to cut off the negative. It's just so much toxic in the world. So let's cut off the negative. Find positive people in your life 365. I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know who's going to see this live on our Facebook here. I'm definitely going to post it on our Instagram, and I'm definitely going to upload it to our YouTube channel. But I didn't even want to get on. I kept saying I don't want to do the live. I don't want to do the live. It's late. I'm tired. As you guys can see, I'm taking to lose my hair. It's like all kind of stuff is going on, and I just want to take a shower and go to bed. And I said, you know what? No, I need to do this live because it's Sharing Saturday, because we share who we are and what we do and why we do it. But like I said in the beginning, I can be angry because I don't have my son. I can be angry because doctors couldn't hear on this side, you know, they didn't have what it took to heal him on this side or get him to a state where he could live a healthy life. I could be angry, but I've chosen to build from this amazing smile. If you knew this little boy, this is an amazing smile that he had all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time. And I remember one of our last conversations we had in April before he passed. And he says, you don't have to worry about me because God's going to come back and get me. And to watch God come back and get him on Father's Day in 2013, it just put my soul at peace. I don't have a decision, just like many of you who've lost loved ones this year, last year, during COVID, not because of COVID, someone got killed, shot, whatever it is. When you lose somebody, we don't get the choice to say, I just need one more hour with them. I just need one more day with them. I just need one more, whatever it is. We don't get that option. When our number is called, that's it. All we can do today is love 365. Don't be afraid to love somebody. Don't be afraid. We talk about it all the time. I'm not going to love you at 50% because I'm scared that if I love you at 100%, you're going to take advantage of me. If I give you 100% of love and you reject it, or you don't in return show that same love, I've done my part in life. I can't hold anyone accountable, or again, I can't control the actions and the beings of other people. I just can't. It can't happen. And so going forward in life, I will continue to be positive. I will continue to not allow toxic relationships in our lives. I will continue to strive to change the lives of others one smile at a time as we continue to raise awareness and funds and support for our children and families who are battling childhood cancer. And yes, we do service the entire Florida, not just Arnold Palmer. We opened up 3 years after we started. We only supported Arnold Palmer, but then we opened it up to the entire Florida. So we have been blessed to be a blessing to so many families. I really, 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 from the bottom of my heart, we went away for the weekend last weekend, and I was probably at 40%. Couldn't do much, but I enjoyed just getting away for a couple days. But I encourage you to dig deep in your heart. Don't allow toxic relationships. People ask me stuff sometimes and I'd be like, just cut it off. I think a lot of times we're so attached. Or, perfect example, it came to me when I was trying to set the camera up. But perfect example is, we all have these little masks that we wear, and then we're scared to take them off. So this is the person I want you to see that I am. I don't want you to see me in my imperfections. I don't want you to see me with my hair sticking up on my head. I need you to see me at my best at all times. But that's just a mask. We all have bad days. In those bad days, how do we channel that good energy? What do we need to do? Who are the people that we need in our lives? We're going to have bad days. We're not going to be happy every day. Every day is not going to be good. I mean, come on. It's not even realistic. So what are you doing with yourself first to be positive? You cannot continue to go on living life toxic, living life in a blaming somebody else for why things have happened. I tell my kids all the time, I love them. When I was younger, I always, one of my biggest goals, it wasn't to do childhood cancer. It wasn't to go to school to get an LPN degree in nursing. It wasn't to do accounting. It wasn't any of this stuff. It wasn't to do massages. It wasn't to be squeaky clean for 21 years. Definitely. I wanted to be a wife and a mom. That's it. That's all I wanted to be. It was probably like for me in my brain, because I didn't grow up with a mom or a dad as a little girl. That's what I wanted to be. I wanted to have a family, and I wanted things to be a certain way. And so for my children, I always tell them in relationships, they come and go. But as a mother, I'm going to always be your mom 365 every single day. I'm always going to be Caleb's mom. I'm always going to be a mother 365. So with that, I have to set the standard for my children, for my children's children, for my children's. I have to leave a legacy. So I can't afford to be angry. You know, people always say, you got it in you. My old man says, you got it in you. I want to see it come out. No, it's not that important. Because here's the thing of it coming out. If I'm screaming at you, I'm yelling at you, I'm fighting you, throwing something at you, trying to run you over, then I get high blood pressure, have a stroke, anxiety, and die. And y'all still living the life of the party, hanging out, just doing stuff. And I'm gone. So it's not worth the time and energy that you put in a lot of things. Again, it's control, but it's controlling you. So remove the toxic, remove the people and the things. It's not just, so it's not all the time people, it's things. Say you like to eat chocolate chip cookies at whatever time of night it is. You know they're not no good for you, but you want to eat them. Don't buy the cookies. Don't have them in the house. Don't have your little goodie bag, your snack bag in the car. I'm just using something simple. We have to learn to get rid of things that are not healthy for us, whether it's people, whether it's going to places, or whether it's things. Let's start this sharing Saturday by sharing with the people who are closest to us. Say a simple I love you. We can't do hugs. We can do air hugs. If I talk to you or if I call your phone any time of day, like tonight, if I pick up the phone and call somebody, my first thing I say is good morning. And people be like, one of my good friends, we were talking, he lives in Virginia. We grew up in church together. And I called to check on him a couple days ago and I said, good morning. And he said, what where you at? And then we both start laughing. I was like, come home. He was like, home where? And like, what country? Because you saying good morning and it's like 8 o'clock at night. And so saying good morning all day long, most people laugh because they know it's afternoon or it's evening. And so you put a smile on someone's face. So let's strive to put smiles on our own faces first. Do that mirror effect. Write down things. Write down flaws and imperfection. I saw one of my babies on here, and her birthday was a couple months ago, and we were talking, and she said, I said, she has this amazing glow about herself. And I ain't gonna call your name out if you're still on here, but she has an amazing glow about herself. And when I talked to her on her birthday, she was like, hello. And I was like, that's not how you should sound. Today's your birthday. She's like, I know. And so she began to share with me, where she was at and how she was feeling. And I began to share back with her who she is, where she's come from. And then she doesn't even know the blessing that she's going. She's walking into the door that's already open. But it's just some things. Sometimes like right now in life, whatever age you're at, sometimes you haven't accomplished the things that you want to accomplish. And it's okay. Be happy with the things that you have done. Prioritize your life. And even if you never accomplish everything that you want, make sure you're always working towards those goals. And if they're positive and they're healthy and if they're for you, they will come. Like I said, I definitely didn't plan on having a cleaning service for 21 years. I definitely didn't want to do accounting forever. I definitely never knew that I was going to lose a child to cancer and then have a nonprofit organization that blesses people all over the United States, Trinidad, Malaysia. We've reached some places that I know it's only God's hand upon this organization that we've met. We have amazing donors. We have amazing sponsors. We do our Be Giving Tuesday every single Tuesday. We have just been blessed to be a blessing, to bless others some more and some more. So the discussion again, we've got to get rid of this toxic mentality because it causes these stressors. It causes these suicidal thoughts. It causes depression. Allow people to love you where you are. When we do our connect group for parents and caregivers who have lost a child, I always tell them, even if on your bad days your family doesn't understand that your child is gone and ain't never coming back, and stop telling me it's gonna get better, and stop telling me that stupid cliche that what do they say? Oh, they're in a better place. A better place for my son is in this bed behind me. That's how I feel as a mom. Not somewhere floating around wherever you go before you get to your next destination. So I hate to say that, but that's how I feel. I hate when people say, oh, well, he's, well, blah, 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 and yada, yada, yada. But he's in a better place. Like, for the 100,000th times, if somebody said that, if I got like just 50 cents off of every time somebody said that, I probably would be rich because people say it so much and they feel like it's okay. Sometimes people say stuff and don't even, you just say things like, I'm praying for you or I'm here for you, but you're not really praying. You don't pray for yourself, for one. But you're not really here. You're just saying it. And then if I do call and say, hey, can you do X, Y, Z? Oh, I'm busy. So, as I say in some of my lives, take the selfishness out of your life and become selfless. I can be bitter. I can be angry. I can be all of these things, but I choose to love. I choose this year, 2021. I always have a theme song and a theme scripture and all of that. I said this year, 2021 is the year that I let go. That means anything and everything that has no meaning, no positive meaning in my life, it's the year that I let go. We have to learn to stay in our own lanes. I can't fix anyone but me. I can help you in some areas, but I can't fix you. If you want to be fixed and you deal with mental issues, you deal with depression, you feel like, oh, what they gonna tell me? They ain't been in my situation. No, they haven't. But they can listen to you and help you to be positive about yourself. You've gotta want help. And a lot of times we don't want it. We would rather complain and say, I can tell Lisa that, my hair, I just need to wash my hair and I just need to do all this stuff. And we're trying to plan this birthday because our birthdays again this year in 2021, it's about to fall in COVID. We could be miserable. We can be upset because we're not going to be able to do our birthdays year two like we want to. But guess what? We're not. We're planning small, intimate things, and we're going to be happy. And we're going to be thankful because God is going to allow us to see another year of life. And that in itself is a blessing. So if we start cutting down all the negatives and start, instead of saying, we can't have a party, we can't do what we want to do, but we're living, we're breathing, we're inhaling and exhaling, we have life in it more abundantly. We have got to start and stop like the people around you who talking about stuff that has no. I will walk away from a conversation if I hear stuff that's toxic. If you know anything about me, I think probably everybody in my life, and I'm going to say in my life and even at church, I have never heard so many people who curse. I mean, curse all the time, curse in the church, on the church grounds, wherever. Just at work, anywhere we at, people just curse all the time. But when they get around me, they'll be like, oh, my bad. Oh, I apologize. I'm not saying you can't curse. I'm not saying that's your prerogative. But for me, growing up, the people that I saw or that I heard that use profanity, they always had these wrinkles across their head. They always are frowned up and look gross. And I thought, I'm never going to cuss because I don't want my face to look like that. And so now that I'm older, when I see the adrenaline that pumps when people are arguing and fussing and fighting, I'm like, no. The most you'll get from me if I'm very upset with you, I'm not gonna even say angry, but if I'm at that limit with you, I'm gonna get very quiet. If I'm at a level higher than that, I'm gonna walk away. I'm never going to allow you to take the control from me and retaliate for whatever you have going on. I told somebody the other day, we curse people out or we do things to people not knowing, like the people with road rage, not knowing you cut somebody off. I saw somebody today going to like literally, I'm right at my sister's place getting ready to turn in. I hear these cars blowing. I have no idea what's going on. I see the lady shoot a bird. She just shoots a bird up at the person behind her, not knowing, like the guy trying to cut her off or run her off the road. But you don't know if these people have guns. You don't know if they're going to follow you. You just never know the mindset of people. And so if you instill in the people that you're around, if you say, I love you every single time you talk to them before you hang up the phone. My daughter and I, my daughter that lives in Atlanta, my little fashion queen, my fashion designer daughter. And I don't care if we talk 20 times in a day. Before we hang up the phone, we always say, I love you. Say, I love you. Tell people how you feel about them. Tell people that they're important in your life. Tell people, encourage people, uplift people. We have got to be better as a nation. I'm telling you, if it's not from the White House to the city and county levels and everywhere, it's just chaos. And I think people thrive and are excited to see others fail. I don't want to see anyone fail. If I can't help you get to the next level, then I will try my best to find someone who can help you in the area of what you need if I can't need it, if I can't do it. And so that's what life should be all about. There's so many people. I have a friend, we talked today, and we used to work together we used to work together, I'm gonna just say that. And little things like the news triggers. It just triggers. And it's like, I can watch anything on TV and I'm not gonna get upset. I'm not killing, but stuff that's on the news. I can be upset, but I'm not gonna be angry to where it's overpowering me to now I'm just in a rage. And then that's how he gets sometimes. And so again, what's causing that issue? Because it's not the news, because news has been bad 5 decades of my life. There's always good news and bad news, whether it's the weather or whether it's some random whatever's going on. There's always bad news on the news. So what's triggering you that's on the news to now you've taken it from 0 to 300, and it's like, it's not really a big deal. So again, find your triggers. The discussion is, we got to be positive. We got to be more loving. We got to be more supportive. We have to learn to love each other every single day. So my challenge to you on this Sharing Saturday is not just to share our social media, not just to share this live, because you could have shared the live while I'm on it. You can simply hit share and share it on your page and people can actually see it because it's public. But not just to share this live, not just to share our event for the 5K, which is July the 24th, not just to like, follow, or subscribe to our YouTube channel, not just to jump on Amazon and make us your charity of choice, not to get affiliated, not just to get affiliated, but to show kindness. Do random acts of kindness every day, every month. If you can't do it every day, monthly, find something to do for someone in your life who can't return the favor. Make your Post-its. Start creating Post-its for yourself. If if most people have ever got a gift from me, one of my most important favorite gifts is a journal to bless somebody with. Journal your thoughts. Start writing it down. My sister was diagnosed with cancer in February, with breast cancer. And for the life of me, I was back numb again. I couldn't talk. I couldn't scream. I couldn't cry. I couldn't do anything. And then 2 weeks, like, I want to say this is March. So I want to say like March the 11th. It was a third. I remember it being a Thursday. I literally was cleaning a property out of town in Lake County. And I was just like, just wiping, and I literally just fell on the floor and just started crying. It was like my whole soul was screaming inside, and I couldn't scream, and all I could do was cry. Was I upset? Yes. Was I angry? Yes. What could I do about it? Nothing. She started her treatments last week, Friday. She's 1 week in, but she has a positive attitude. We're praying, we're supporting her and all of that. But even in that, we can be angry. We can get angry. We can be angry because for 3 weeks, her doctors gave her the runaround and didn't even tell her how bad it was. And then when she went somewhere else, she learned in one day what they didn't tell her in 3 weeks. And so we just have to focus, redirect some of that energy, even when we're mad and angry. I was angry. I was angry, because when I hit that floor, there was just like, it was just like everything in me just left my body. It's like my body just went limp, and I had to get it out. And it's like after I cried and I cried and I cried and I cried, I just start being thankful, because it could have been worse where we didn't catch it in time and we wouldn't have time to have treatments, but we were able to. And so, yes, I smile a lot. But like I tell people with one of my daughters, you don't know what's behind the smile. Sometimes we've been battered. Sometimes we've been abused. Sometimes we've been torn. Sometimes we've been worn down. But it's through our positive energy that we have, that we make it, that we persevere. It doesn't mean that you're going to have good days every day. It doesn't mean that bad things are not going to happen. It doesn't mean that you're just going to be on top of the world all the time. It means that I'm smiling through my pain. I'm not going to allow this situation, this circumstance, this person, this thing to overtake me. I'm going to keep smiling in spite of. One of the things people would say with Caleb when he passed was, "When are you gonna cry? When are you gonna cry? When are you gonna cry? You ain't cried yet. You ain't cried yet." And I said, I cried for 3 years while y'all were living y'all life. Nobody was coming to the hospital. Nobody was checking on us. We were living in the hospital for three years. And if one of the ladies from the hospital, I think I saw her pop up earlier, if she's on here, she'll tell you she was washing our clothes. If she couldn't do it, she had one of her staff do it. And so we were living in the hospital while y'all were living y'all best lives. Was I angry? No. I cried. All those times we had hospital admissions, I would get in the shower and I would cry. So when it was over, there was no more reason to cry. It was over. It was done. Now I have to go through life and figure out what's next. I can't keep crying because I've already cried for 3 years. The discussion. How can we be positive for ourselves first and each other's? Get you an accountability partner to check on you. How are you really feeling? If you're having if you're having issues where you really need to talk to somebody, get help. I have some wonderful partners that do counseling. If you need to talk to somebody, get it out. Don't hold it in. If you have to accept the fact that you are the reason why you are where you are and you don't want to accept it, sometimes we are the reason why we're where we are. We're holding ourselves back because we won't let go of things that are toxic, of friends that are toxic, of whatever. On this sharing Saturday, I want you to share some love to whoever. I want you to share this live. I want you to be positive. I want you to start journaling, write some post-it notes on. I'm staring here looking at this little bobblehead thing. It's too cute. Caleb was awarded this, and it says most Christ-like in his class. The teachers would always say, if we just had the whole school act like him, then we would be good every day. Most Christ-like. Imagine yourself as Christ-like. Like, they crucified him, nailed him to a tree, and he said nothing. They talked about him, spit in his face, gave him some vinegar to drink, and nothing. What does most Christ-like mean to you if you're spiritual? What does that mean? Sometimes we have to just keep our mouths closed. Sometimes silence is golden. Because if I speak, it's not going to be good. Sometimes we have to practice. One of my prayers in the morning is, Lord, mind my mind and my mouth. Because it comes in my mind, then it comes out of my mouth. And we all know these tongues just say some things that sometimes you cannot take it back. So, Lord, mind my mind and my mouth. I'm going to close because it's got to get ready for Sunday morning for church on Facebook and YouTube. But I still got some reading, and I want to journal tonight because I have a lot inside of me that I need to get out and I need to write. But I definitely, like I said, I really wanted to have a conversation or a discussion tonight about just your mental state, your mental health. Get you some positive friends in your life. Get you some positive people in your life. And let them know really how you feel. Where you at? What Wendy Williams saying? How you doing? How are you doing? Find some accountable people that you can share that I'm not okay. I'm not having a good day. I'm not where I think I need to be. Find accountable people in your lives that you can trust, that you can love, that they can love you back, that you can receive love back from. I hope you guys have had an amazing sharing Saturday. I have. It's been a definitely blessed day. I'm going to get up tomorrow and make things happen. But definitely I'll catch you guys on Tuesday, which is our Be Like Giving Tuesday, where we challenge you to donate $7 or more to our cause each and every Tuesday. So I love you. For all of those who are on, thank you for tuning in. Hey, Michelle. I don't have my glasses on, but hey, Michelle, it's been forever, ever since I've seen you. Hey, Mr. Johnny, love you. Hey, Miss Sade, Lisa, all of y'all. If there's some more people on, I can't see them. Yeah, I did see Molly earlier. So for all of y'all, thank you guys for watching. But I definitely hope that you got a nugget out of the conversation of the discussion. Let's have a discussion, because I really am sincere and wholeheartedly in a place where I think life, like I said, 2020 is the year that I just let go. And I think that's what a lot of people need to do. Let go and build healthy relationships and lives with friends, family, and loved one, whoever's in your circle. So let me challenge you to do that. Tomorrow's the first day of the week. Make you a list of some people you need to just cut off. It's not that I hate you. It's not that, whatever. It's just, I can't have you in my space. And there's nothing wrong with that. So have a super Sunday tomorrow and a blessed week. Talk to y'all Tuesday.